Hey traders, Joseph here from Eightcap. Welcome to today's report for Wednesday the 18th of November. So we're going to start very quickly with our US indices. We still see this point here just below that 30,000 point as key resistance. The US 30, this is the 4 hour by the way. We did see a move at the highs on the 16th, but for now we are seeing this pullback continue. It's worse than expected retail sales data last night, and we did see some comments from the Fed saying that they would act if they needed to, and there is some talk of speculation and odds around a possible further cut in US rates, but at the moment I think that has a 50% likelihood, but the speculation is around. Now today we're going to be spending a fair bit of time on Bitcoin, so if you're not really interested in Bitcoin, feel free to stop watching right now, but just before we jump over to that, we really want to see with the US 30 in particular that if we do see this trend break continue, if we are going to see a move lower, or if we are going to see this short-term support continue to hold. Now this bar here showed a fair bit of demand, and we'll be watching this key area tonight to see if we do see a hold, even if it does dip down a little bit. If we do see a pullback, if we do fail to see buyer demand, then potentially we're looking for this to run a little bit further and turn into a bit of a more short-term downtrend. And if we do see support come in, obviously on the next rally we'll be looking for tests around that 29,980 area to test that resistance. So now just before we go into Bitcoin, we're just going to take a quick look at oil. We can see that candle glaring at us right now. So basically very late into the session yesterday, very late in the US session, we had this very strong move down, and it was quite a fast move. Now US stockpiles are seen, reports said that US stockpiles are seen to be quite high. So that's not a very good stability indicator for oil if US stockpiles are much larger than expected. And we also had OPEC meetings yesterday, and some of the general comments are that all the hype around the vaccine probably won't help oil too much in the near term, but obviously in the longer term it will help as if it does get economies back up and running faster, and with growth and stability comes demand for energy. So that was quite an interesting move down yesterday. So now we're going to jump over to Bitcoin now, and if you haven't seen already, Bitcoin is pulling back pretty sharply at the moment, but we have seen an amazing rally really for the last since on Monday, and to the high so far this week. We've seen 16% gained, which is really quite amazing. We did top out today at a high of that 18,459 point. Now that's an amazing price to be seen again. So if we just jump over to the weekly with this discount this week, just a couple of weeks ago we were sitting around that 15 point, and then the last 2 weeks we've just seen this really strong buying. Now what's even more amazing is this week we've seen a break of that high that was set back on the 31st of the 12th in 2017, and at this point, the high today, we're only talking 7.5% from all-time records, which were set back in 2017 before we saw that real solid sell-off. So we can just see how basically parabolic this trend is now. After we snapped that resistance slash high here at 12,215. It's just been one-way traffic now for 5 weeks now running in a row. So Bitcoin is one of the few markets that can really do this, and it's a really dangerous market normally to try and pick a top, especially when it's in this kind of mood. So definitely, regardless of how you trade, some people do jump in. I'm sure plenty of people are starting to jump in now, but just keep that in mind, because when this thing, if it does decide to snap back and demand comes back into it, it can accelerate very quickly, and it does keep moving a lot higher than you could possibly think. So if if you were thinking just a few weeks ago that, hey, we're never going to get back above, that 15 point, well, it did in 3 weeks solid. And not only that, it, topped out around that nearly the midpoint of the 18,000 area. So definitely, we can see now there's a bit of a fight back going on at the moment. A small one here, but this is an interesting candle. We're just going to have a look at this. So the 2 hours prior, we've seen a really nice move up of 3.89%, and all of a sudden now we've just seen this fall here of at the moment we're talking around 3.5%, which is sort of starting to eclipse these 2 hours of trade higher. So in these videos we're not giving any type of recommendations or trading advice, but definitely do keep an eye on this, as it's a fair bit of volume to be pouring through within the hour, and it's a fair move down. So there is a possibility maybe that quite a few people are starting to looking at taking profits after we've jumped across a pretty psychological barrier of that 18,000 point, which was above those highs we just spoke about, set after the the all-time high. So keep an eye on that tonight. See how the European markets are going to come in, and with the US markets, what the demand's like. But for now, in the 4 hours, sort of seeing that short-term demand around 17,551, and there is a bit of short-term resistance here at 17,820. So we just want to see how the market moves around these two areas for now, and if we are able to see a close above that resistance to sort of show a little bit more on the demand side, or if we do see a close below that small bottom here, then possibly there is still a fair bit of supply going on. But right now at the moment we're starting to form what's called a shooting star at the moment, so if you're into candle patterns. But really, to me, that this suggests that there's been plenty of profit taking going on at the moment after we've seen a really nice long run up, and we saw similar move there. The only thing that is a little bit, there's one there, but the thing that is out of characteristic is a little bit is just how long that upside tail is. So yeah, very definitely interesting times. But just finally, before we wrap it up, we just want to have a look at it on the monthly, and we can just see how close the market is starting to get now to levels that we were hearing not too long ago that were never ever going to be reached again, but there was a big segment of the crypto community and that were saying that not only were we going to get back to these levels, that we would get back above it. So this is definitely a trend that does look like it has a steam behind it to possibly try and push at new highs, but everything that does go parabolic, at some stage people do start to take profits, and we do see a pullback. So we'll have to see what the next step is for now. As currently it's still just from eyeballing, it does continue to look pretty extended at this stage. So that's it for now. Sorry, the video has run over 8 minutes once again. I'll try not to run them too long. So if you are watching and listening at this point, thank you very much for watching and listening, and we wish you good trading for the rest of the session, and till tomorrow, bye for now.